out. Oh, thank you so much. Um, Liza is just getting home and getting ready. So she'll be joining us in just a second. But I want to just start us off tonight with a little sharing of some of our favorite, um, and maybe not even favorite, but a touch roller that you use most often. And you can share in a number of ways. You can, of course, put it in the chat. You can also unmute. I'm going to start just because I'm already talking. But I definitely have two touch rollers that I use most often right now. One is Serenity, which everyone kind of knows already. It's right before bed. It's like slathered all over my body. I got my pulse points, my pillow, bottom of my feet, and then I do my deep inhales to help me relax. And then I also have been doing a lot of neroli lately. Whatever I put in my car, I kind of switch out my touch rollers in there is what I lean on. So I've been using my neroli again over my heart. I like to do my pulse points, and then I also rub it and inhale just to calm myself. And then also I just, that aroma just makes me happy. It's kind of a different scent too. So definitely one to try. Awesome. I see a bunch in the chat. Jess, her favorite is Copaiba. And then, yeah, Jess, if you could just hop in there and say what you use it for, what use you're going for most often, or if you want to jump right on.
I just use it to calm myself. Any like minor aches or pains or this or that. I've been having like wrist issues. I don't know what's going on, but I just kind of slather that all over, and then it makes it feel better.
Awesome. I need to use that more often for those aches and pains. I always go for my deep blue so often. All right, we have Janelle has Breathe and Adaptive rollers she uses a lot. Okay, how with her piece, definitely remember that. And then Kanan says adaptive during the day while working on patients. And then I love to use rose all over your face. Yes, you do. I love watching you do that too. I don't know why, it like makes me happy. And then we also, who else has shared? Oh, Cody has been taking adaptive touch to school to use at nap time. Oh, yes. And the teachers love it, of course. So cute, too. Just seeing him roll it, I'm sure is adorable. And then Dawn, On Guard. Yes, immunity, preventative, great for right now. Janelle, adaptive for my son and I when he throws his fits. Yes, important. And when I get overwhelmed. Breathe so then when we wake up, we aren't so congested. Nice. Dawn with adaptive for stress. Zaisha with her frankincense every night on her face. Janelle, with the cold weather. Oh yes, when you wake up. I know it's been really cold in the mornings lately. So yeah, that breathe is very helpful. And then also for working out. Yes, me too. And then Marissa with your breathing, your mask. I dream tea tree for your face and ears. Nice. And then yes, Don, use Kanani's tip there. Use it rose all over your face. And then Janice mentioned Frank under her eyes. Yes, and Ray too has a great story about how using her Frank for targeted for wrinkles by her eyes has also improved her eyesight, which is a crazy thing. Over time, it's gotten better, and she just uses it in that area for skin, but it's had another benefit, which is so cool. And yes, past tense for tension on the neck. Yes, I have made myself a roller lately with the new, it's 15 mil, yeah, of the past tense, which is crazy that it's not in a roller anymore. You got to make your own touch. All right, awesome. Anyone else want to share out loud? I've just been reading a lot.
I was gonna share about rose too. I love to slather, and I don't do it nearly, I think, as much as Kanani does, but I love to put it under my eyes and then just kind of like massage it outwards. And then I like to, although there's a lot of other oils that are really good to use on your jaw, I love to swipe right on my jawline and massage it in too. And kind of, my cousin gave me this buckle massage where she literally like puts her hands in my mouth and massages it. But ever since then, my jaw has been looser than ever and it feels so good. I don't think I realized how much tension I hold. So I love to put rose in there and just kind of massage it out myself. And this is supposedly very helpful for wrinkles as well. So anyway, yeah, thanks Kate for hopping in for me. My husband went back on patrol and I kind of forgot how crazy the nights were, and I had a practice that didn't end until 7:30. So thank you. Anybody else? Had a question. Somebody said, Adrienne, tea tree for your face and ears. Oh, and you're eating dinner too. Sorry. Are you just talking about behind your ears? Yeah, okay. I do that a lot when I go on the plane. All right.
Yeah, I used to get a lot of earwax and go to the doctor a lot. So now I do tea tree a lot around my ears. And then I have this thing on my head. So since I'm putting it on my face anyway, I just put it all over my face. I figured whatever else might be in there. So
I love that. And if you guys didn't see my post, Sai had reached out once, actually saying he had ear discomfort and what to do. And I told him to not just put like tea tree. The tea tree touch is great behind the ears, but to massage it in the way that the ears drain too. And he was like, holy moly, that totally made a huge difference. So same thing like when you're rubbing oils on the stomach, you want to rub in, is it clockwise? In the direction that this digestive tract runs to help if you're trying to, loosen things up or keep things, get things moving, like for constipation. So same idea with the ears. The more like I like to come around and then go behind my ears once I've applied the oil. So you can even apply in that direction and then just rub, and it'll really help to drain. Sometimes it drains down your throat, so that's not fun, but just go ahead and gargle with like, the On Guard mouthwash or even a drop of tea tree or On Guard in water to help that. But that's just a little tip through, yes, clockwise. Thank you. All right, awesome. Anything else that we missed that anybody needs a little bit more direction with, as far as, I heard just sharing, it's so funny because I feel like the old school rollers are what I use the most. And then all these newer ones that we have, like Copaiba is one that I don't know why I don't turn to it more often. I definitely need to put it in you guys, I lost my whole roller case of rollers in this last trip. I'm so sad. I'm pretty sure it dropped out of my bag in the plane. So I have to make a whole new roller collection. And I had a full bottle of rose and helichrysum and everything in there. So somebody needed it more than me. But yeah, I think I might add Copaiba to that case so that I have it with me. Kanani said great for gargling holy basil and water. And then Adrienne, this is a good tip too, to use the Copaiba roller on the Roy with the deep blue stick. So we talk a lot about layering deep blue, and the deep blue stick does already have Copaiba, but if you wanted to pack an extra punch, super good idea to go ahead and add that. All right. Thank you everyone for sharing. Kate, you gotta taste the slides for me. So tonight, honestly, you guys, I was a little like, stuck. And I came up with what I am really excited to share with you guys is a podcast. And I've shared the podcast, and some of you might have listened to it. But I tell you right now, it's a podcast that I listen to that I could listen to over and over and over again. I also listened to it when I was like in the shower and getting ready. So I'm excited to take some notes. So tonight I'm going to ask you, I would really love if you could find a piece of paper or even get out your phone and open like up a note or something. And I want you to answer. There's going to be 2 questions, and then we're going to listen to a podcast tonight. Just for yourself, for purely yourself, I want you to take 2 or 3 minutes. Why did you get started sharing the oils with others? And I might add on to that, why do you continue to share the oils with others? So I'm going to go ahead and leave that and turn off my mic so I can do this. Why did you get started sharing the oils with others? And why do you continue to share the oils with others? So if you could all take a minute, Scout's honor, to actually write this down, I think that would be really powerful. Okay, I don't want to rush people, but I do want to just encourage you to wrap up with maybe 1 or 2. I just did kind of phrases myself. Why you get started, why did you get started sharing, and why do you continue? And honestly, whatever you put down, whatever your first reactions were, that's your why. Okay, your why can be different than when you started. Your why could be the same. But this is why you're here on this call and why you keep showing up and why you keep sharing. Okay. All right. So now here's the next question. And Kate needs to fit the thing. I keep hitting it going, why is it working? What is holding you back from building your business? No matter where you're at, if you're on fire, this, that, what are the things that you feel are holding you back? I want you to list numbers 1 through 20. I do not want you to overthink it. I want you to list 20 reasons that you feel are holding you back in your business. Okay? Go. Okay, I'm realizing how hard 20 is. I often do this with groups of people, so everyone is contributing to the same list. So I'm going to encourage you to jot down 3 or 4 more, push yourself to really put 3 or 4 more on your list. All right. So if you feel like you still have more to go, I encourage you to come back to this and revisit it. But this activity is one that I've done in education many times before. And the idea is that the first 5 or 6 ideas that you list are the typical ones that are your immediate. People aren't showing up. Nobody wants to do this with me. People aren't responding. They're not, people are quitting. They're not living up. So it really focuses in on things that are kind of out of your control. And as you get to the bottom of the list, typically is where you start to see the items that you actually have more control over, right? So the idea of what really holds you back in terms of what you're afraid to do. And so this is just a really good, and that might not be true for you. Yours might be up at the top, but a lot of times when we push and we kind of keep asking this question, what else? What else is holding you back? What else you're holding back? The deeper you have to dig, the more you're forced to self-reflect on the things that you have control over. So the top things might very well be true, right? Other people are quitting. People are not showing up. Other people aren't excited about the business anymore, whatever it is. But as you dig a little bit deeper, you start to recognize the things that really, really are holding you back. And for me right now, I think my biggest thing is that I have a block with just picking up the phone and calling people. And what's ironic is that when I do it, I have so much success. But for some reason, the picking up the phone and calling people seems to be a big block for me right now. Anybody want to share? I don't want to force anyone because this can be really personal, but anything, did that resonate with anybody? Did that ring true that like the deeper that they got in their list, the more it focused on what they could control versus what others? I see Adrienne nodding her head in the screen. And Marissa gave a thumbs up as well. Yeah. All right. Okay, you guys. Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, 20, like I did 10. That was a push. But like when I got to like 7, I mean, this is for real. I mean, I know, like I fear that people aren't going to get any real benefit out of the oil, like I got benefit, but like the other people aren't going to get benefit, and like someone's going to get sick. That was 8. Number 9 is everyone won't like me later. Like all of a sudden they're all just gonna turn on me. And then 10 is it's good enough. It's like the average person in our community does X and I'm doing more than that, so I'm good. I mean, so that's actually holding me back too. So I know there's a couple more, but that's an interesting. So thank you for this exercise.
Yeah, I encourage you to keep listing them out and just being able to be vulnerable about it. And you recognize really quickly that there are a lot of things that you have control over that sometimes we give more control to other people or other extenuating circumstances that we really, we can't control. I feel like in this business, I filter a lot of information that I share to you guys as a team because there are lots of things that people get all in a tizzy about all the time. There's always something to be frustrated about, or lack of communication, or this, that, and the other. And but my whole approach with doTERRA, maybe that's years of training from the DOE, is it's really so little that you can control, and so you have to just focus on your circle of influence, right, and circle of control. All right, Kate, if you could go on to the next slide. So tonight we are going to listen to an amazing podcast by Laurie Kimball. She is a recent US Founder 2.0. I don't know her personally at all. I only know her because now we're in a Founders 2.0 group. What I really think about is cool about her, what I have learned is that she did not build with a huge social media presence. She, from what I gather, built really organically by just doing the work and doing it consistently. And if you did listen to her podcast, go ahead at this podcast, put a one in the chat because I did share it in multiple groups and I know some people listen. But I'm really excited to have another opportunity to listen to it again and be able to revisit some of the things she shared because it was so powerful. So if you didn't listen it yet, you're in for a treat. And for those of you that have, I hope that you enjoy revisiting as much as I do. So this is 23 minutes. I know that this is asking you to engage in a different way than we've listened before, but to speakers, but typically we have video. This is just going to be the audio. So I highly encourage as much as possible if you can actually take notes and really take time to connect with this. Put your phone on the side. I know I'm just as guilty. It's super hard for me too. And really just listen in for 23 minutes because this was one of the best podcasts I've listened to in a really long time. So Kate, the link is right down there on the bottom left-hand corner. You might have to stay unmuted so that we can hear it. And hopefully it all goes well. I'll give you a thumbs up if we can hear it.
Welcome to Building Your Business with doTERRA, the podcast where you learn the secrets of top wellness advocates. We take the guesswork out of building your business so you can make more money, experience freedom, and live the life of your dreams.
As a reminder, results not typical, average earnings are less. See doTERRA opportunity and earning disclosure summary on doTERRA.com. Hello, business builders. My name is Marina Lukowski, and I'd like to welcome all of you back to the show. On today's episode, we will be speaking with Laurie Kimball, who is a platinum from Parker, Colorado, and who most recently secured a Founder 2.0 position. Now, on this episode today, we are going to be celebrating her achievements as well as dig deep into her business strategies and have her give us some of her incredible secrets to success. But before we do any of that, Laurel, I just wanted to offer you a huge congratulations and welcome you to the show.
Thank you. So exciting. I actually really love this podcast. So I'm on it now. That's weird.
Totally honored to have you on the show. You definitely earned it. I mean, you've reached a monumental milestone in your journey, and we're definitely excited to learn more. So before we do that, I just want to start off, as I usually do, by asking you to take us back to the beginning and just give us some more details about what this journey's looked like for you.
Oh man, like with anyone else's story, I feel like there's so many parts to my story, for me, who's someone who loves to tell details, I'm going to just bring it in and tell you some main highlights of my story with doTERRA. It started 2 years ago, so November 2019. And at this time, I was not interested in doTERRA, not interested in essential oils. However, I did have this kind of random desire to start using more natural and safer cleaners in my home. Okay, so just a teeny space was starting to open up in my mind. Anyway, this November, we were at a dinner with my husband and a bunch of people from school. He's in grad school right now. And I was catching up with one of my friends who was also one of his supervisors. And she had started doing doTERRA a few years previously, and she was having a lot of success with it. I actually, at the time, was doing another company. And I was pretty new in this sales company and having great success as well. Totally loving it. I was sure I was going to be doing this sales, this MLM for the rest of my life, this company I was with. Anyway, so we're catching up at this dinner, and pretty soon our conversation started drifting to the MLMs, and we started comparing our different MLMs. And it's so funny looking back at it now because she knew exactly what she was doing. But she asks me a question. She goes, well, how much money are your top dogs making in your company? And I very proudly was like, oh, well, my director, I know that she makes anywhere from, like I was super impressed. And my friend, who's now my oil mentor, she goes, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's really cool, which it is cool, right? So she goes on to tell me about the compensation plan. It was interesting, kind of mind blowing. You like can't even fathom those numbers she was throwing at me. But, I was sure I was going to be doing this other company for the rest of my life, loving it, great success, all that. She definitely planted a seed though, right? So she then invited me to a class. She dropped off some samples. I was like, all right, I'll give them a test. And, actually she did tell me, she's like, listen, you can read high quality research on these oils. You can hear all the good testimonials about them in the world. They're endless. But in the end, you just have to try them out for yourself. Like that's the only thing that's going to convince you. So I was like, all right. So I went to her class and I actually had my first good experience right in the class with the deep blue rub, like many of us have, experienced that first good experience. So yeah, and I got a kit of oils. I mean, oh my gosh, I cannot even believe I got that kit of oils. I remember telling my husband I spent $200 on a kit of oils and he's like, you did what? And I'm like, I started panicking. I know, what did I? And I actually texted her, I'm like, can I cancel my order? And she's like, well, you can if you really want to. And something just is like, no, just keep it. So I was like, okay. And I didn't cancel my order in the end. So I got my first set of oils. So following that class, that was in November, for like 2-3 months. I mean, I just wrestled with this seed she had planted in my head. It was quite the wrestle. I did not want to be an oil lady. Like last thing on the planet I wanted to be. Yet I was just so intrigued by this business opportunity. And, I'm not afraid of hard work and I'm not afraid of sacrificing for something I believe in. I wanted to create a business that would be solid and not crumble away the second I need to take a breather or I'm ready to slow down just a little bit. And, all of these things that doTERRA offered were just plaguing my mind.
That's a good word usage. They're plaguing the mind.
They really were and that's really uncomfortable for me because focus is my driver's strength. And so when my focus is knocked out of whack, it's a very uncomfortable place for me to be in. But peace came it was early March 2020, like that first week, just really soul searching, journaling, praying a lot. And I finally just got enormous confirmation and peace. Like, Laurie, this business you've built and the things you've done so far with this company are great. You've done a great job, but it's okay to bring it to a close. Okay. So I just received such great strength and peace. And then just like excitement, this jolt of energy, excitement, and like fire in my chest. Like, you need to pursue doTERRA. You need to jump right in. And when you get a confirmation that big, it's like, okay, here I go. And so that, that's all I needed, just that super confirmation. And then I jumped in with 2 feet.
Wow. So question for you, because you kind of started at a time when that was uncertain in the world. March 2020 was kind of a bit of a scary time. So, I mean, what were your biggest ups and downs?
Okay, so it's funny. My first class that I hosted was actually scheduled in March to be an in-person class in like days before everyone went on lockdown. And so I'm like, well, what do I do? I've already invited people to the class. And my mentor like, well, let's just do it on Zoom. So we just did the class on Zoom and then boom, that is all I knew. So I didn't even know doTERRA previous to pandemic. Like I did all my classes on Zoom. Like I've built my business 99.9% online. And that's all I knew. So I didn't see that as like a challenge. That was just how it was. However, I mean, there was plenty of ups and downs though. Honestly, for the first several months, to be completely honest, it was a love-hate relationship with this job. I felt very prompted to do it. I was giving it all I had. And the progress is just slow at first. And the income is just tiny at first compared to what you're putting into it. And that was hard for me for months. I mean, I read my journal entries in September. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That was 6 months into the business. And still my journals were like, this job is going to be the death of me. That's how I started like every single journal entry because I was just working so hard and I wanted to be diamond like yesterday.
Right.
But I stuck with it. I had committed and I stuck with it. And now where I'm at in my journey, so fast forward, I'm coming up on my 2-year mark in March. I mean, I just feel so humbled to be part of this company, truly humbled and grateful that me, out of all the people in this world, like, was in a way called to be a part of this doTERRA family and to do this business and share these oils with others and this business opportunity with others. So for me, it just is truly humbling. So grateful to be here.
I have to ask, what do you love most about being a part of doTERRA?
That's a hard question. I really do think one of the things I love the absolute most is, and they say this all the time, that this business is like a personal development business. I really do love that. There's just something just really satisfying, like progressing and improving and becoming a better you, right? And then turning around and helping others to do so as well. So I think that might be my absolute favorite thing. But I have to say, the more I get to know the founders of the company and the executives and just the other leaders in this company, I feel like that's just a huge blessing. We're surrounded by some seriously amazing people and leaders. So it's a blessing to be able to rub shoulders with them and learn from them. People who just have just such a huge vision. I mean, it just is mind blowing, right? Their vision is so big of the good we can do in this world. And it just is awesome to be on this mission with them.
Laurel, I was recently reading in your bio in the doTERRA leadership book, and it really stood out to me how you wrote that you were dead determined to obtain a founder position and how you worked to get there. Now, to me, it sounded like you were not scared of time commitment, which for many people can be probably the scariest part of starting, a doTERRA business, or really just any business that you're going to take on your own. So I wanted to ask you to maybe give us some of your top tips for time management, and also give us some insight into how you were able to juggle both your personal life and your business responsibilities.
Oh, that is such a big topic, right? Time management, an enormous topic, but one that I actually get super pumped about, especially when talking to other moms, because I think women have serious superhuman powers. Like, we juggle so much and have such huge responsibilities, but we are capable of rocking it all. So I just want every single mother who is listening to this podcast to know that you are so divinely gifted and truly capable of accomplishing the impossible. I believe that with all of my soul.
I second that 100%. Love you, moms.
Yep. So it just fires me up. Okay, so right up front with time management, I think it's crucial to understand that time management is not like a one and done goal. Okay, it's not like normal goals. It's not something you just decide you're going to work on for a period of time and then you master it. Wouldn't that be nice, right? But no, improving your time management skills is a slow progression, but one that is like so worthwhile to pursue. So I am a mom of 4 boys, 7, 5, 3, and a baby. He's 6 months. My husband has been in grad school to become a clinical psychologist for the last 6 years. He's written a thesis, a dissertation. I've started 3 businesses. We've moved twice since I've started doTERRA. I had my baby in May of this year, right after I hit gold for the first time.
Just got a lot going on, like a lot.
But just like anyone else, I mean, I know it. I know all of you moms out there, all of you people are juggling just enormous loads and enormous responsibilities, like tons and tons of things. But here's the thing with time management. When you know your priorities, you're in tune with your priorities, and then you take your schedule, map it out, and stick those priorities in, like where there's a will, there's a way. And if you're growing a doTERRA business, doTERRA has to be one of your priorities, right? I'm not saying that your family isn't. I'm not saying that being a mom isn't, or being a spouse, or, responsibilities in your community or in your church. Like, those are all important. Those can all be priorities in your life. It just comes down to strategizing a little bit. And it's going to be a give and take relationship sometimes with those different priorities. I don't believe in like complete balance, but I just believe in strategizing and sacrifice when necessary and needed. But you have to have good communication with your family members. They have to be as invested and rooted in your goals as you are. And maybe that takes a little bit of warming up. I understand that. Like, when I started going for founders, like, that was a huge commitment that I made. And my husband, he knew that I wasn't doing it for like glory and fame. He knew I was doing that for our family. So he was 100% supportive of me, right? That didn't mean it was easy. And that didn't mean that plenty of nights he was probably really frustrated with it all in general. But we had made that decision together, and the kids were on board. They knew what mom was working so hard for. So they were supportive, and we stuck to it, right? And we didn't give up. Be committed to your priorities. Be willing to sacrifice for your priorities. Always just be working on that self-improvement, and, you know, understanding that time management doesn't come all at once. So give yourself grace on the days that you're a total mess, and then pat yourself on the back when you feel like you've got some good habits and good systems in place going, and, you know, keep with them.
Right. So to kind of follow up on that, so how do you hold yourself accountable to like keeping to your time management? Like, do you write a list, and if you accomplish the list, then you're good to go? Is it kind of like a feeling thing? Do you use any tool to help you? What's helped you in maintaining this process?
I think it goes back to, first of all, just the decision, just the firm decision. I am going for this goal no matter what life throws at me. So for me, that was Founders, right? This last year and a half, like, it starts with just that firm decision. And then every day, day in, day out, you're focused on that goal. And when you are feeling just so overwhelmed and complete mess, take some time to breathe and pause and take a little break, rest and recharge, do some self-care, but then be ready to hit the ground running again when you're done with that little rest.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything that like I use to specifically hold me accountable beside just that commitment to the goal.
Right. It sounds like it also sounds like focus for you, since that's like your top strength. Like that is basically the tool that leads you forward, is like you're so focused and you rely on that to achieve and to conquer, which is super inspirational, because a lot of people want to have that kind of focus. And I think what you said was really insightful. It's like it's a matter of like almost like flipping a switch. Like, I'm gonna go for it. Keep practicing that focus every single day. And at the end of the line, I'll get to Founder 2.0, but I'll also have increased my ability to keep my eye on the prize, if that makes sense. And so that's super inspirational. And maybe the second question I'm going to ask then, I'm like, maybe that is your secret sauce, but I always like to ask, what is the secret sauce that contributes to your success?
Yeah, it definitely is tied hand in hand. So like my secret sauce to success starts with decision and commitment. When I first started doing the business, I made the decision I wasn't going to quit. I said I would at least give it 1 year of solid work. Okay. Because I was really unsure about doTERRA, everything about doTERRA in general. But I made that, I got that confirmation. I made that decision. I said, I am giving this a year of solid work at least. Okay. And then came Founders. And when I received that like clear prompting and nudge, like, you run for Founders with all you've got, I made that decision. Okay, I'm going 100% in to get a founder spot. And then I stayed focused and I stayed determined. Another thing that contributes to success, I feel like just a few other things, like I don't wait for someone to tell me exactly how to do things, but I just move forward, figuring it out as I go, learning as I go. I have great successes. I have great failures. I fall flat on my face sometimes, but I'm not afraid to try out new ideas that come to me.
So in your opinion, what is the number one thing that builders should be focusing on right now? Is it Founders 2.0?
Okay, yes, for sure. But here's why. So the number one thing I think that builders in doTERRA need to be focusing on right now is rising above distractions. The distractions, the negativity, and the excuses of the world. It is full, full of those three things, but you need to rise above them. You have to rise above them. So life is throwing a lot of things at us right now. But what you can do is just take time to connect deeply with the person you are, the person who you want to become, what you want to achieve for you and your family, and then you get to work. And you lead others out of the distraction, negativity, and excuses with you. Okay, so you bring others with you on this journey. The reason why I think for sure Founders should be your focus, because here's the thing. When you build your business to Founders, okay, so 1,000 points, okay, if your goal is to get 1,000 Founders points, no matter if you get a founder spot or don't, like if you build your business to 1,000 points, you are building a solid business. So I think founders is the perfect roadmap, the perfect thing to focus on right now and be determined to get. Again, don't be so hung up on like the position of founders, but just focus on that 1,000 points and run for it with all you got. Whether you get in the top 200 or outside of the 200, it doesn't matter. You will have built a solid business.
Yeah, I love that inspiration. And Laurel, it's interesting because I just feel like that's such good advice. Like, don't let the world get in the way. It's turned so crazy. I feel like everyone's feeling it, with global issues and just like economy and everything, and then personal stuff going on. It can be really hard sometimes at the end of the day to not be drained and not like feel like you can do it. So I think that's really inspirational. Now, it's important to know, and whenever we do a Founders 2.0 interview, like, this is just a really rare opportunity for a company as big as doTERRA to offer something like this. So let's focus on those who have not yet started going for this US Founder Club 2.0 position. Maybe they just enrolled, they're just a new builder, maybe they're just barely catching that vision, but they feel like they're behind. Whatever the case may be, what are some action steps that these people can take to get in the game and go for it?
Okay, if you are just starting, we've said it 10 times already in this podcast, but it just starts with a decision. Okay, make the decision you're going to try. You're going to go for it with all you got, with everything you've got. Okay, be rooted in that decision. Make that commitment so strong that you just feel it, like head to toe, you are going for it. No matter what life throws at you, you are that committed. Okay, because life is only going to continue to throw things at you. And as crazy as it is now, I mean, I just feel like it's only going to get crazier, right? These are just the times we live in. So you cannot be hung up in that and stuck in that. Rise above, make that decision, be committed to that decision no matter what. And second, this is so crucial. You have to 100% give up the fear of failure. Okay, drop it like it is hot. You guys, there is no such thing as failure when you run for founders. So just drop that fear, give it up. There's no such thing as failure. Because no matter what, if you are trying, you are moving forward and you're building a business that is going to bless you and your family's life. So crucial, okay? Don't be afraid to fail. Just get moving.
It's rare. I don't think I've ever met anyone who's come to any position without the support of other people there. So I just wanted to ask, is there anyone you'd like to thank for being by your side in this process?
Yes. So first and foremost, when I made the decision to go for founders, that felt like a mountain to climb, like just impossible, right? I was so far away, but I made the decision and then I left the how up to God. I was like, okay, I'm going for it with all I've got. You show me how. So I have to thank God for showing me the path. My husband, I have to thank, and my kids, because that was a lot of sacrifice. And there were many nights that my husband did the dishes and got the kids in bed. So he has been awesome. And, my kids as well, just cheering me on. I remember when I hit gold, my 6-year-old wrote me this note, and I still have it. That is like, good job, mommy, I'm hitting gold. I'm so proud of you. Like, he knew that was a big deal to me and had written me a note. So super precious. And then, of course, my mentors and my teammates, mostly just for their friendship and like their loyalty. I feel like I have real good friends on my team and my mentors, and that means the world to me. So couldn't have done it alone.
Yeah, Laurel, absolutely inspirational. Thank you so much for coming on today, talking about your journey, pumping everyone up to go for Founders 2.0. To anyone listening, I think you've definitely illustrated how determination and just the commitment to go for it will get you somewhere, right? And
right.
If it's not Founder 2.0, it's definitely further along than where you were when you didn't make that. So thank you so much for coming on. And to everyone listening, always remember, don't forget to rub blue tansy on your big toes and rock your businesses.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the show.
All
Make sure
right.
to
Thank you so much.
welcome to Building Your Business with doTERRA.
It's going to keep playing all the podcasts. So that came right from our Empowered Success podcast. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. The first time I did not get to take notes. And I would love to hear, does anyone just want to share a takeaway or two that they got from her sharing? I am happy to recap it too, if anybody. Kate, you have something?
Yeah, I mean, the point that she ended with, I think, was brilliant because I feel like we all have that fear of if it's failure, or we're fearful someone's going to ghost us, or we're fearful someone's going to judge us, that we're that oily person and that we're, you know, just being salesy. So yeah, I think that resonated with me, and that idea of just drop that fear, because it's getting in the way of your business and this future that you're building for yourself. So just get rid of it. Yeah, I love how she ended with that. I think that was really powerful.
Yes, thank you. And I honestly, listening to it again, I realized like how there, I mean, obviously because she is a founder, but I love that her overall sharing of like, regardless of if you get there, if you actually show up and do the work, you're building a long-term sustainable business. This business was great before the founder's opportunity, and it'll be great after the founder's opportunity has come and gone. No matter what, it's a great opportunity, right? Adrienne, I'm going to come to you next. Janelle said in the comments, so awesome. Time management doesn't come right away. And I think that that's important in all aspects. Like, I know I'm so like this, right? I tell myself I'm going to eat better, then I don't eat better, and then I'm like, it's all gone to the wayside, right? So it's like all or nothing. And it the more we do that, we're just like self-sabotaging. And you have to give yourself credit even on the messy days. Adrienne, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, I really liked what she said about giving herself 1 year of solid work. And that's definitely what I'm doing this year. I'm like, just 2022, I'm going to do solid work for 1 year and see where it goes. And hopefully I'll get a founder spot. But if not, that's not the goal anyway. So
Yes. Janelle just wrote, rise above the distractions, negativity, and excuses, and bring others with you. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole podcast, because she was asked, like, what's the number one thing that everyone should focus on in their business? And she said, yes, founders, it's great. But everyone, and I think this is applicable to all areas of our lives, right? There's always things that are distracting us. There's always going to be naysayers, and there's always going to be excuses. If you guys go back to your list of 20 things, probably about half of those are those distractions, excuses, and negative thoughts, right? That you are somehow allowing to stop you and hold you back. And yes, not definitely giving yourself credit, even when you have a less successful month. Anything moving forward is a success. And we are all going to suffer setbacks in our life and our businesses, but it's how you keep showing up. I just, a couple more things that really stuck out to me. You guys covered a lot of them. She definitely talked a lot. I mean, she said it too, right? I've said it 10 times. That's just this idea of making the decision. Like, you can hear it, like there was no wavering in it, right? There was no questioning it. It was, this is what I am going to do. I'm going to be a founder, and I'm going to put everything I have into it for a year. I also feel like she talked about prioritizing and knowing your priorities. And I love that she was balanced about, you can have, your family is obviously a priority, your church, your job, whatever. But if doTERRA is a priority, then how are you going to make that fit into your life? And she said this word early on several times. It was strategizing, but also sacrifice. And I have to be honest and say that is very true. If you want
big goals or even small goals, you know, founders might not be your goal, but maybe just the next rank is, or maybe your 250 par 3 or 1500. At some level, all of those goals require sacrifice. And you're really the only ones that can decide what that sacrifice is going to be. And Kanan's going to share. I just want to give one little thing. It's so interesting to me because I've been in this business now for 8 years and I have worked so consistently and I have sacrificed so much time and so many sporting events and so many things that now those are the things I'm not willing to sacrifice. Like I get to have that payoff now, right? I get to say when and where and how I want to work because I don't ever want to miss one of my kids' games if I can help it, you know? So Kanan, go ahead.
I just want, I mean, I love hearing from all of you, but I wanted to share because I just got super emotional and I normally don't like ask Liza and Kate. I'm not the emotional one out of us at all. But I got super, super emotional where like I had to really take a pause and stop writing and like dig a little deeper on what I was writing because the family, like it comes, I feel like for myself, it really comes down to family and how the sacrifice for sure, but the long-term goal of being able to be there and like provide for your family and your kids. And so for me, Founders was never a goal until Liza was like, no, Kanan, it needs it like look at your numbers, like look at your points, like look at the bigger plan. Like stop looking just month to month, but really look long term. And I was like, wow, you're right. And she's like, because this is a goal. And like if it's not your goal, it's fine. But because she knows me so well and I know what I want to accomplish in this business, and it is really all for my kids. So hearing that coming from her, like her kids support, her husband's support, really pushing her to get to that, and it's for the long-term purpose, was a heavy hitter to my heart because that's really why I do this business. That's why I'm fine being a hygienist. I love my career. But doTERRA just brings something way deeper, like the passion and the love to be able to share with people. So I don't know, like I guess what I'm saying is just find that like deeper love, that deeper like of your why, not just your surface why, but like your deep, deep why, because it really, really hit my heart. And I'm not a big podcast person, so I'm super happy that we did this tonight together as a team.
Thanks for sharing, Kanan. Nat, Kanan and I are all soccer moms together. So Nat's son and my son play on a team together, and Nat's other son and Kanan's son play on a team together. So Nat knows that Kanani is not typically emotional. That would be me. I'm the emotional one, if you guys didn't know. But I agree, Jean. Thank you, Kanan, for being so vulnerable. And you might not have had enough time to dig that deep with what we did throughout this call, but I hope you take a little bit of time for that, because your why is what pushes you through on the hardest days. Your why is what keeps you going and motivated. Your why can be something else outside and greater than you. So I love all of you guys so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you for spending that time. Oh, the time with us tonight to do that. I know we got 2 minutes till 9. Kate's gonna share her screen again, just so that I can give 2 quick reminders. And thanks, Maris. It is a powerful reflection. And I hope that I'm glad that we listened together, because I really appreciated revisiting it. Don't be afraid to tell your story. Your voice is important and your story is unique. Don't let fear hold you back from sharing what you know to be truth with other people. Okay. About the oils, about the business, about whatever it is. Always step forward in confidence in yourself and knowing that everybody's individual story is important and unique. All right, just a couple of friendly team reminders before we wrap it up here. Tomorrow is our 10 ways to save 10 grand on your taxes. The link is in the customer group. If you can't make it live, I think if you register, you will get a recording, is my understanding. However, please attend live as much as possible. But I know for my teacher friends, the timing doesn't work out so well. Even if you've seen this before, I promise you, you won't want to miss it. And even if you don't come for the business aspect, Shauna is great and you're going to get a lot of great information just for your own life. And then last thing is thanks, Jai, for always helping Auntie Lies with all of this. I just posted this in the business group and in the WhatsApp group. Oh, look, and Jai's putting all the links in the chat. Thank you, Jai. This is the next Empowered Success training on Monday, February 6th. That is going to be 3 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And Eddie Vila, who I'm obsessed with right now, strength trainer, along with Eric Larson and Bailey King, is going to really help you learn strategies and tap into your top strengths to help you leave with a plan for 2022. And yes, wait, what are we watching in Jamaica, Kanan? Are we going to be in Jamaica already?
The
Empowered Success.
the Empowered Success.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I bet some of these guys will be there. So I bet some of them will be there. All right, you guys. Thanks, Kate. You can go ahead and stop the share. I'm going to get my phone out. Thank you guys for sticking it out with us tonight. If you don't mind, if we could take a quick team pic, I would love that. Thanks for people that showed up and shared and just for being here, just for making this a priority. All right. 3, 2, 1, smile. Adrian's family wins for. Oh, wait, one more time. Terry turned on her light. I was like, Terry, it's dark. Okay, one more time. 3. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thanks, you guys. As usual, thank you for showing up for yourselves, for your community, your learning, your growth. Tonight, for showing up for your reflection, for digging deep, for being raw and vulnerable, and just reconnecting with why you're here and why you're keeping on. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will see you guys here next week. Have a great night. Bye.